Welcome you all again to this special event in memory of Chacham Obadiah Yosef, of Chaim Obadiah ben Gemchia. And I'd like just to share with you a few words about a few aspects of his life. But I would like to concentrate about a few things, a few points. First of all, the respect that he had for Talmidei Chachamim, the vision that he had to restore Sephardic tradition, his teaching, and his love of Torah. The respect of Talmidei Chachamim that he had, by the way, he wrote more than 50 Sfarim in his life. Great tshuvot, thousands of tshuvot, of responses for people all over the world. And you see that in his tshuvot, he quotes, as Rabbi Rosenblatt said in Encyclopedia, quotes rabbis after rabbis, and tshuvot after tshuvot, and svarim after svarim, from Rishonim and Achronim. Out of respect, when they asked him once, how come? Some of the svarim that you're quoting are from young Talmidei Chachamim, young rabbis. He said, out of respect. I feel that every Talmid Chacham has a teaching to teach us, and therefore I'm quoting them. His grandson asked him the following. I saw it in a video. He came to him and he told him that there's a sefer that was published criticizing Rav Kook. And he asked Rav Obadiah's opinion, his grandfather's, what does he think? And the words of Rav Obadiah were, Malach Hashem Tzevaot Hu. Rav Kook was an angel. And when his grandson continued on and asked him, was he a Talmid Chacham? Rav Obadiah said, I told you, he was an angel. What do you expect, more than that? Obviously he was a Talmid Chacham. Another time he went, a few years ago, he went to see Rav Pinchas Scheinberg, who was the eldest Rosh Yeshiva. And Rav Obadiah went to see him to get a bracha from him because he had some backaches. And his concern was that he couldn't learn. And he went to Rav Scheinberg, and he sat down, and you see the awe of Rav Obadiah. As he's sitting down in front of the eldest Rosh Yeshiva, it is with awe, with respect, with kavod. He kisses his hand, and he tells the Rosh Yeshiva, give me a bracha, I can't learn. And the Rosh Yeshiva is in so much pain. Rav Obadiah starts to cry, and Rav Scheinberg starts to cry. And then Rav Obadiah gives him a gift. And what is the gift that he's giving him? The book that he just published. The respect of a Talmid Chacham towards another Talmid Chacham, and the honor that he had. The restoration of Sephardic tradition. Rav Obadiah had a vision. And you see it in his books, where he says, he bemoans the fact that when he was a young Dayan in Petah Tikva, when he came to certain Gittin and the names that were written in the Gittin, he bemoaned the fact that it wasn't according to Sephardic tradition, even though the couple that came to the Bedin was a Sephardic couple. And therefore, after speaking with the Ab Bedin at that time, the Ab Bedin agreed that it's going to change, and it did change. And it's because of his vision that he had, that today, Baruch Hashem, the Sephardic tradition is well alive all over the world. And I'm proud to say that sometimes my Ashkenazi peers turn to me when it comes to some Sephardic questions. And I think it is mainly because of Rav Obadiah. Because he is the one who stood up and had this vision that Sephardim have to be proud of their tradition, of their knowledge, and give it over to the next generation. When it comes to teaching, there's an interesting Ben Ish Chai who says in Pirkei Avot, beginning the first Mishnah, Moshe קיבל תורה מסיני ומסרה ליהושע. Moshe gave the Torah, Moshe got the Torah from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, ומסרה ליהושע, and transmitted it to Yehoshua. And therefore the Ben Ish Chai asks the question and says, why does it say he transmitted it to Yehoshua rather than Yehoshua accepting it from Moshe? And the Ben Ish Chai teaches us a great lesson, that the teacher has the responsibility and the obligation to go out there and to teach his Talmidim. And therefore, Umsara is the idea of Mesirah, of giving over, of transmitting, of being sure that the next generation is going to have this tradition because the teacher is there to teach them. And Rabbi Obadiah did that. When he was a younger man, he flew all over the world in order to be Marbitz Torah, to give Torah, to teach Torah, to inspire people wherever he was. And this is the blessing that he gave me this summer. I had the great privilege to see him this summer. And for the minute and a half or 2 minutes that I was with him, I kissed his hand and he gave me a bracha. And he told me, they told him that I was a Sephardic rabbi in Vancouver. He told me, Tamshich leharvitz Torah, continue on to inspire people, to give them your teachings, because that is your mission in this world. And I can tell you that the bracha that he gave me was so inspiring that when I came back, for some reason, more people started to be connected to classes. I just got an email on Thursday from a woman who made her aliyah to Israel. And she told me the following, she writes in the email, Rabbi, I'm following you on YouTube, your classes are great, continue on. And I think it is because of this bracha that Rabbi Obadiah said, Mama, she was really happy to say it. To see a young rabbi who's trying to teach and give over was something that was for him an inspiration, and therefore he gave me this encouragement. And of course his love of Torah. All of the above of what I said is because of the love of Torah that Rabbi Obadiah had. I'd like to quote what the Orach Chaim says, interesting, an amazing Orach Chaim in Parashat Devarim, Perek Chavav, Pasuk Yud Aleph. It says, V'samachta b'chol hatov. You should be happy with all the good. And this is what the Orach Chaim says. En tov el Torah. When we talk about Tov, it's talking about Torah. And he says, if people would know the importance of Torah, the knowledge of Torah, to learn Torah, they would have become Meshiganet, that's what he says. They would run after it. If a Jew would know the love, the importance of the Torah, the gift that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave us, he would run after it, he would seek after it, he would look after it day in and day out, minute in and minute out. Because this is the tachlit, this is the goal of every Jew. A Jew was created in order to serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave us this Torah in order to be able to serve Him. And therefore, Rabbi Obadiah, through his life, was someone who had this love of Torah, had hatmada. As Rabbi David Yosef, Chacham David Yosef, his son, says, and I heard it from him, he says that one Sunday, his father, his Abba, woke him up for Shachrit. And as he's waking him up, he told him, you know, David, it's been a couple of days that I'm not sleeping. He told him, David told him, how come you didn't sleep? He said, because I was so immersed in my learning that I forgot to sleep. This is the hatmada, this is the love that Rabbi Obadiah had. Rav Shlomo Amar, the Rishon LeZion, said the following. He said that they had, when he was a Dayan in Petah Tikva, Rav Amar, they had a very, very important question to ask Rav Obadiah about a certain chalitza they had to do in the Beit. So they called Rav Obadiah, and his wife Margalit says, Rav Obadiah is sleeping, I can't, it's been a couple of days that he hadn't slept, he was really immersed in a very severe she'elah question, halachic question that was asked. I can't wake him up. They told him, but this is important. He has to, we need a shuvah. So she told him, you know what, when he wakes up, I'll give him the question, send me the question, mail it to me, and I'll give it to him. A couple of days later, they got a tshuva from Rav Obadiah, even though he fell asleep because he didn't sleep for a couple of days. It was important for him to give this tshuva. After every event apparently that he went to, and he went to many events to inspire people, when he used to come back midnight, 1, 2 a.m., the first thing he did before he went to sleep was to learn. Learning was his life. Every minute of it was his life. There's a story about his wife when they were a young couple, and Rav Obadiah was on the bus coming from the building, and he's sitting down and he's immersed in his learning. And his wife comes into the bus and she sees her husband, and there's an empty seat next to him. And what does she do? She sits next to him. But he's so immersed in his learning that she doesn't disturb him, and he doesn't know that she's there. They get to the stop where he's supposed to get out. What does he do? He realizes that he's about next to his house. He runs out of the bus not knowing that his wife was next to him. And as he's getting to his house, he's knocking and his wife is not there, and his wife is running and she says, "Where were you?" She tells him, "Where was I?" "I was next to you on the bus." He says, "I'm sorry, I didn't realize that you were there." This is the Rabbi. This is the gadlut. This is the greatness of this man. And I'll share with you a little funny story about his brother Naim, who just passed away a couple of months ago. Naim, who was a simple Jew. He had a grocery shop. As Rabbi Obadiah's father didn't come from any rabbinic dynasty, he was a joker. And one day, he came to his brother Rabbi Obadiah, and Rabbi Obadiah was sitting and learning and eating at the same time. He had a bowl, he has a soup next to him. So what did Naim do? He took the soup that was pretty empty, and he gave him another bowl that was pretty full, and he gave him another bowl that was empty. And as Rabbi Obadiah puts his spoon in, he sees that there's nothing, and he realizes, he thinks to himself, I ate already all the soup, and he continued to eat. This was the greatest of this man. And therefore, I think it's important for us to realize that the Hatmadah that he had is inspirational. And I think that as a community, I think we have to take ourselves into the next level. And I think the next level to have, not maybe as much as Hatmadah as Rabbi Obadiah had, because I don't know if we could get there, but certainly to have a kviut, to have a set time of learning. As the Acoca-Hacham says, this is why we were created for. We were created in order to serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu, in order to learn the Torah, the great Torah, the gift that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave us from Shamayim, from the heavens. And therefore, I thank all of you for coming, and may the merit of Chacham Obadiah be with us as a community, with Klal Israel, and may his Hatmadah, his diligence, his study, all the learning that he did, and the zechuyot that he brought Am Israel, be with us. Kuto Yagen Alenu, Amen ve'Amen. Thank you very much. And I'd like also to thank the yeshiva for coming, the Rashi Yeshivot for bringing the yeshiva, all the people who came from different communities, Shabbat Tzedek, Chabad. Thank you for being here and honoring Chacham Obadiah. Breakfast will be served now. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Li 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 li